Well, I mean, you know, this is a show that was created by Steven Spielberg and Bob Rodat. I took over the show in the second season, but Steven's idea always was to do a family drama that had as its backdrop some type of genre, in this case an alien invasion, and I think that what we have always taken by that as our guiding light is that it's a human drama first, and hopefully the science fiction is there to enhance and service the human drama. But much of the issues that our characters are dealing with are issues that would be in the real world as well. They're just a bit exaggerated because we're in this crazy world where aliens have taken over the planet, and 90% of the world population has been eliminated, and we're on the run. Jessie, who plays Drew's girlfriend in the first season, has been kidnapped by the aliens and eventually comes back to be possibly the worst alien of all. And so which is
bad ex-girlfriend.
And it's as I said down at the panel, it's always tough when the ex-girlfriend comes back to mess up a relationship with Sarah and Drew. Sarah's missing, but when she's an alien, it's really bad.
So you guys, this type of event, you get one in America called Comic-Con. Have you attended that type of event before?
Yes.
How do they compare, UK, US, those type of events?
I've only been to the US Comic-Con once. I came last year for Falling Skies, and I didn't get to walk the floor much, but the difference is a lot more people dress up to the extreme here. I mean, there's full head-to-toe costumes. Yeah. People are costuming their other people, and in San Diego people do that as well, but there's, you know, you get a couple that go full-blown blue bodies and Avatar style, and then you have a lot of people that have pieces, but here I've noticed almost everyone is someone else, so it's been interesting.
I feel that it's been special here because it's just a little bit smaller, therefore it's a little more intimate. I have more interaction with the people here than I do in the San Diego Comic-Con, just because I feel like there's this whole labyrinth, these mazes that they take you around when you're in San Diego. You come in on a motorcade under some giant structure, and they send you through these secret passageways, and then you just pop up on stage, and there's just thousands of people out there. It's overwhelming.
Then you go to the floor, and there's all these little exhibits on the floor, and you're mazing through those too.
Yeah, and so here it's like we just walk right to the floor, so you get to say hello to people as you're cruising around, and it's nice.
But a huge amount of people as well.
And it's right in the middle of San Diego down there, so it's a lot of people in an already big city. Whereas here it's a little separated from downtown London, and they're different but very similar.
I'm old enough to remember when Comic-Con was just for comics, and San Diego at the San Diego Comic-Con at that time, that was the centerpiece of the show, and it's grown a little bit away from that. They're sort of tucked in the corner. What I love about this show is that they're front and center, that the artists are there front and center, and it helps me, just because I'm an old geek, it helps me to stay very grounded onto what the real genesis of these conventions are anyways, which is to celebrate, you know, the kind of exaggerated and fun world that the comics have given us.
I was watching in one room, I was peeking through the curtains before we were going on for our panel, and I was peeking in one of the rooms, and it was so interesting because it was gamers. They were sitting there, there were 3 guys on a panel, and they were playing a game, and they were talking to each other during it, and there's hundreds of people in the room rooting and laughing. But I mean, it's basically like if we were to sit in a room and I'm like, look, Drew, look what I'm doing. But hundreds, I know you do.
Why can't we do that?
But they have it on a stage, so I mean, it really is back to the gaming and the comics of what it is, and the people behind it, which is neat too.
And how did you settle upon what the aliens would be like in this? Was that quite a development?
It is quite a development. Steven Spielberg is nothing if not possibly the world's expert on aliens. There's much speculation that he's even actually had contact with aliens. And it's actually been quite fascinating to work with him on that, because he has very specific ideas, and one of the big things here was he didn't want aliens to look as if they were just people that had put on some prosthetics or painted their faces blue. He wanted it to feel as if they were very much away from the world, and we went through at least hundreds of sketches for the original aliens that showed up in the first season, which we called the Skitters, which are six-legged creatures, then suddenly introducing the overlords, the Ishpeni. We went through several design phases, including we eventually had settled on a design phase. We started implementing that, and then Stephen took a look at it and he said, no, I think that needs to be different, and we literally went back and redid them all. This coming season, we actually have yet another set of aliens, and
this
went
is 3
through
you're
that.
talking about now, yeah.
That's right,
Three,
season
yeah.
3, and we went through the same sort of discerning process. Working with Stephen's interesting because when you get talking to him and you get in a JAG, now this is one of our, premier filmmakers of our time, it suddenly becomes this moment where you feel like you're two 14-year-old boys, in the backyard saying, but what would be really cool? What if we did this? And Stephen would go, yeah, but maybe we could. And that is beyond stimulating.
I miss
really
out
fun.
on those conversations. I would love to hear them.
So what's it like for you as actors playing? Is it green screen, or how does it actually work when you're doing the production?
We had every now and then we'll use green screen or blue screen, but it's usually just to drop in a background or something. For the most part, there's a grip out there who's holding a C-stand with a silver globe up on top, and he's chasing after you like this, and you're going, and shooting at him and looking around and running from him. So it's a lot more of that than the green screen stuff. And then the other aliens we have, the Skitters he was talking about, and then this new alien in the 3rd season is actually a full suit, so you're getting to work with a puppeteer. And in the 3rd season, it's an actual actor who's in there, Doug Jones, which helps tremendously. You're no longer having to imagine anything. You're looking at what looks like an alien.
Yeah, it's a combination. We combine that then with CG. We enhance it
over
with CG.
I've used a lot more blue screen, but considering what the show is, it's only been in maybe 2 episodes that we've used blue screen, and that's for when you see us on the alien ship, and you see the world underneath through the glass, and you see the Overlord. But even when the Overlord's dying, when Tom shoots him, that was a little ball with a head on it, and they're like, no, the eyes are there, don't poke them. I'm like, I don't know. So it's we don't use a lot of blue screen, but when we have, it's mainly for the spaceship, and that's about it.
Now, you mentioned Stephen, obviously one of the world's greatest film directors. How much involvement does he put into it? Do you guys see him on set occasionally, or is it just sort of pops in, produces ideas?
He does not come on set because he's in the middle of
Showed up
doing
on the pilot. We got to
He
see
came
him
from
on
the
the pilot.
We got to
shoot.
see him.
Yeah.
Amazing.
He just surprised us, and it was surprising.
But he reads almost every script. He watches every show.
Yeah.
We get extensive notes from him. So, and I think Noah said it the best at one of these gatherings that we were at, where he said, while he may not actually be on the set physically, you feel his presence at all times, and you want to do your best work for him, and that in itself is, Stephen puts his name on our show, but he has not done that for all the shows that he's been involved in, and that means a lot to us that he's done that.